Few couples have captured the audience's attention quite like Kirk and Rasheeda Frost. Their journey on Love and Hip Hop has been filled with drama, love, betrayal, and ambition. Recent events, however, have sent shockwaves through their fan base, turning their once intimate relationship into a headline-grabbing scandal. The scene would have made for compelling television, but sadly, this was real life. As the evening wore on, the nine appeared to be typical at the Frost residence, or so it seemed. Kirk, and known for their entrepreneurial spirit, had been juggling their careers with family life, all while trying to maintain their marriage. The atmosphere grew increasingly charged. Alarmed by the disturbance, the neighbors called 911 to report a domestic disturbance. When the police arrived at the Frost home, they found themselves in a tense situation. What had started out as a disagreement over routine household matters quickly escalated into a heated argument with raised voices and hurtful words exchanged. After conducting a quick analysis of the circumstances and speaking with both parties, the police chose to detain Kirk because, when the news broke, almost immediately followers who had followed the couple through their highs and lows on social media erupted in shock. Rasheeda appeared to be deeply disturbed and had red, swollen eyes from crying. Shock, anxiety, and depression because their favorite couple was suddenly embroiled in such a serious predicament. Ra enraged the flames with a passionate Instagram post that I never thought I'd have to deal with. Eventually, it became clear that this was more than just a fit of rage, but rather the result of years of relationship issues. The description included a picture of her, which showed her to be both powerful and vulnerable, a powder cadet of emotions waiting for the right spark. Celebrity insiders speculated about the toll that reality television fame can take on personal lives. The pressure to maintain a perfect image while dealing with personal demons can create a powder cadet of emotions despite their differences. Several people came together to support Rasheeda and urged her to prioritize her safety, while some fans expressed their loyalty to Kirk, pleading for understanding and empathy, while another fan lamented the tension that was apparent in both online and offline settings as she looked to close friends and family for guidance in her quest for understanding and healing. Reflecting on the years of her marriage and considering the benefits and drawbacks of each romantic trip they had taken together, though, the dichotomy of their lives appeared to have a corresponding moment of betrayal or disappointment. The truth was far more complex. Meanwhile, Kirk had to deal with the implications of the incident, the legal fallout from his actions, and the reality of his marriage as he redated himself for his court appearance. He expressed sorrow and confusion, saying, "I love Rasheeda, and I want to make things right." But the path to reconciliation was anything but clear on the day of the hearing. Drew made conjectures regarding potential outcomes, such as whether Kirk would accept accountability for his deeds. The tension in the drama was similar to the most thrilling episodes of Love and Hip Hop, but the stakes were higher. Would Rasheeda stay with him, or would she decide to move on? Friends close to Rasheeda said she was weighing her options and considering what a future without Kirk might look like significantly more, as supporters anticipated the outcome at the end. Their story serves as a cautionary tale about love, fidelity, and the complexity of human relationships. Rasheeda was determined to put her own and her children's well-being first, as a sobering reminder that actual lives are at risk. The S of Kirk and Rita took on a life of its own underneath the glitz and glamour of reality television. Kirk Frost leaned toward revealing a startling fact that had sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. Even though the future remained uncertain, his countenance wavered between disbelief and seething rage, as the weight of his revelation hung heavily in the air against his upmarket studio's glossy countertop. Rasheeda, his former partner and ex-wife, is suspected of stealing $9 million from their joint ventures. This isn't just a rumor, it's a reality that I've been struggling with for far too long. Kirk began speaking slowly and emotionally, and I trusted her. Therefore, learning that she has been embezzling money from us seems like a betrayal on many fronts. The studio, which was once a hub for collaboration and creativity, now feels like a battlefield. Kirk reflected back to their early days together, remembering how they worked hard to build an empire in the music industry and transform their dreams into a profitable brand that eventually branched out into fashion and lifestyle. Mutual regard, but as the business grew, so did the difficulties. Kirk dismissed the memory, shaking his head as it came back to him. I thought it was just mismanagement or accounting errors, he said, but when I saw a little at first, but progressively serious disparities in their finances started to deal farther. It was like watching a house of cards fall apart in front of my eyes when I discovered records of transfers that made no sense. The problem worsened when he decided to hire a forensic accountant to look into the accounts. When the report finally arrived, it was a DUP punch, as it revealed Rasheeda's involvement in unauthorized withdrawals and concealed transactions, painting a troubling picture of betrayal. Kirk waited, his heart pounding. Kirk remembered that the moment the accountant gave him the report, the numbers blazed in front of his eyes, a sign for dashed hopes and lost dreams. The findings each day intensifying his sense of dread as social media erupted with the Ash Perk v. Rasheeda trending. The public devoured every detail of the couple's turbulent history. Filled with love, passion, and conflict, I had poured my heart and soul into our brand, so learning that the person I trusted most was stealing from me was a nightmare I couldn't wake up from in the middle of the mounting drama. Faith fans and followers of Kirk and Rasheeda reacted with shock and disbelief. Kirk reflected on their connection, recalling both of their highs and lows throughout the years. I never imagined it would come to this. Snap judgment. That's what I think. It feels like I'm losing not just a business partner, but also a former best friend, he said. Kirk stated as he sat in the studio surrounded by mementos of their past shared ambitions. Rasheeda said very little, which only served to fuel speculation. Kirk let out his rage, declaring, "I need answers." Kirk was determined to recover what was lost and looked into his legal options because he felt compelled to act because the loss wasn't just about money, but also about integrity and respect. He created this empire with his blood, sweat, and tears, and you won't let it be taken away. I deserve to know why she did this and how she thought she could get away with it, because we built this together. The fallout from this revelation would undoubtedly upend their combined personal and professional lives, and there might even be legal repercussions. What impact will this have on their standing with the people that supported them during the turbulent waters they were in? Kirk Frost's revelation about Rasheeda's purported betrayal laid the groundwork for an intense narrative that would captivate viewers. He declared a renewed sense of purpose through his revelation. Beneath the glitz and glamour of their public identities lay a complex web of emotions, hurt, betrayal, and the nagging mystery of how love could turn into such hate. I must see this through to the end because I owe it to our legacy and to myself for the fight that lies ahead, Kirk continued, saying that in the face of criticism, his resolve hardened and he wouldn't back down. Friends and allies reassured him that he wasn't fighting the struggle alone and that, in the end, accountability put an end to everyone watching, knowing that the truth would eventually come to light, even while the details of the future were still unclear. Kirk prepared for the approaching storm. It was inevitable that the struggle between betrayal and love would take unforeseen turns, leaving spectators on the tip of their seats to see how this thrilling chapter would conclude. Kirk moved through the dimly lighted living room, feeling a rising tide of betrayal and hatred wash over him with each stride, with a look of defiance on her face. Rasheeda's confession weighed heavily on him. He mumbled, "You really did it," in a voice that was scarcely audible above a whisper. Rasheeda crossed her arms and stood. "Kurt, you think you're the only one who can have fun occasionally. I didn't come here to assign blame." He felt a sinking feeling of amazement and rage, wondering who else he knew. "Did you really think that you could just let things go and not question me? You've had your fair share of late nights and whisper talks. Do you really think that you've just turned a blind spot? Her eyes gleamed viciously as she drew nearer. He ran a hand through his hair, feeling the weight of betrayal crush him. So, that's your excuse? You thought you'd just cheat back? That's how you survive? I thought we were creating something real, but you made me look like a dumbass.